If you've been keeping up with world events, you might know that the value of labor is on the decline. It's been on the decline for a while. And as the value of labor goes into decline, the value of capital, betting on which companies are going to do better, goes up. So let's make a bet. A lot of people are talking about the impact that AI is going to have on labor, and I think that's an important conversation to have. Unfortunately, the conversation right now revolves around, should we let AI take all of our jobs? And I think that's the wrong question. When it comes to basic economics, it's more or less a given that if labor can be replaced by cheaper labor, it will be. We saw that with globalization. That's why we get paid less now, many of us. And it's going to happen with AI as well. There's two possible outcomes from that. The first outcome is that as AI replaces our jobs, more and more of us struggle to afford food and housing. That's already happening. And that as we struggle to afford the basic necessities, we get more and more angry and combative with one another, and eventually fight. A similar situation led to the First World War and then subsequently the Second World War. This has happened many times in many different places across history. So it's a reasonable bet that it could happen again. So option number one on the betting table is to bet that it'll happen again. That more and more people are displaced from work, more and more people struggle to afford food, more and more people struggle to afford housing until people are so hungry and insecure in their housing needs and angry at one another that we fight each other. There's a quote from Albert Einstein: "I know not with which weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." So that outcome could have some really bad repercussions for just about all of humanity. Now, option number two, which is not usually what has happened throughout history, but it's an option, is that enough of us become sufficiently aware of what's happening that we force a different decision. That we say, okay, economics says that our labor is going to be replaced by artificial intelligence and robots. We accept that. What we don't accept is that that means that the billionaires and the politicians who work for them just get to rule the world as it descends into chaos, largely of their own making. And we force a conversation about wealth redistribution. Because automation could give all of us a lot more freedom. Work less, have more food, have more housing. I believe